Hello, everyone. All right, it is Monday the 14th. Um, let's go ahead and look here at our agenda. So we read the first part of the Christmas Giant. We did our Go Noodle. Then today we started talking, and we'd already discussed input-output tables. And today we did problems this time with multiplication. So when you look at this, it's week 17 math input output tables whole group. And you can review this chart. This is the same that we looked at. So I've already gone over it once, so you can go ahead and pause if you want to read it over and review it, but that's the same one we looked at when we were talking about addition and subtraction. So here, if you look at this little machine here, something is going in. So we start with a number, and then we apply a rule, and then something comes out. So apply the rule is what's happening in the middle, and then out pops our new number. So I'll let you click on this page 2. You can click this link. We watched this video, and then we looked at this question here. So here, you can it's kind of a guess and check, but you can narrow it down. So here's a little hint. If the numbers are going from smaller to bigger, then you're going to either be adding or multiplying. If your numbers are going from bigger to smaller, you're going to be subtracting or dividing. So here, our numbers, we start with the input. So here, look at this little robot. You start with the input. Then we're going to be finding out this rule, and then out comes the output. So here we're starting with 3, and our output is 18. So we're going from smaller to bigger. So we're either going to be adding or multiplying in this middle part here. So I notice that I'm going from a 3 to an 18. So I'm going to think to myself, okay, I know that I could add 15. So I could do 3 plus 15, and that would equal 18. But here, when I take this input and I add 15 to it, that would not give me 24. So let me erase that. That can't be my rule there. So let me try now. So adding's out. So let me try multiplying. So I know that 3 times 6 is 18. And let me try this next one. 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, so this is working out. 5, take my input, multiply it by my rule times 6. That equals out. So now that I've seen that repeated over and over, that times 6, times 6, times 6, I'm taking my input, I'm multiplying it by the 6, taking my input, multiplying it by the 6, taking my input, multiplying it by the 6. That is working out to where it's giving me the correct outputs. So here, I'm going to take my 6, I'm going to multiply it by my rule times 6, and that's going to give me my next output, 36. And then I'm going to take my next one, 7, and I'm going to multiply it by 6, and that's going to give me my next one here, 42. So 7 times 6 is 42. So here, when you're given already the input and the output, and you just need to find that rule, then you go ahead and see if it works, and if it does, check the next one, and then keep going and making sure that that works all the way from left to right there, starting with the input and moving to the output. Here, we're only given 1, so we can't really see if there's a pattern. We really have to go to the word problem and see what's in the problem and get our information from here. So here, it says that in a classroom, each chair has 4 legs. So each chair in the classroom has 4 legs. So here I see the number of chairs. So if I have 1 chair, the number of legs is 4. Now here, I'm going to go to my next one. So I'm going to actually draw a picture to help me visualize this. So if I have 1 chair, that's got 4 legs. If I'm going to add another chair, That chair also has 4 legs. So now if I have 2 chairs, 4 and 4 is 8. Then if I have another chair, that chair also has 4 legs. So now I've got 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is the same as 4 times 3, and that gives me 12. So each time I'm doing this, I'm taking my number of chairs, that input, and I'm multiplying it by the number of legs, and that gives me how many legs it has. When I had 2 chairs, I multiplied that by 4 because that was 2 groups of 4. That gave me 8. Here, I took the number of chairs, multiplied that by 4, and that gave me 12. Same thing here, if I add another chair, all of this here added together, 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, same as 4 times 4, which gives me 16. So the question says, if she had, or if there are 18 chairs in the classroom, how many would there be altogether? Well, we're not going to keep going 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. That's too many. We can make it a lot simpler by doing 18 times 4. So here, 18, let me stack these up, times 4. Here I'm going to do 4 times 8. That gives me, I know 8 and 8 is 16, 16 and 16 is 32. Then 4 times 1, but it's not really a 1 because it's in the tens place, so it's actually a 10. 4 times 10 is 40. And so when I add these partial products up, I get 72. So if she had 18 chairs, that would be 72 legs. All right, number 5 was our independent work. So students worked on that, and then they hit draft there. And then for reading today, we went to activities, and we went to holidays around the world, and we read this section on Australia. And so you can read page 2 and page 3. Then students picked, so they had the options to pick from France, Italy, Mexico, Australia, or Germany. So they picked one, and then they did some research on the geography today. So they had options. Some students wanted to make their own. So they opened up a new tab. They went to the waffle here, where the Google apps are, and they went to slides. And in slides, when you click up here, click blank, you can make your own presentation. So some of them wanted to make their own. So Google Slides was an option. Seesaw is another option. They could make something in Scratch. We've been doing lots of coding. So if they wanted to do something in Scratch, that's also fine. And so they added their information here through doing their research. If they did not want to start all the way from the beginning and do their own, I put some links here for them. So here's one on Germany, here's one on Italy, Mexico, France, and Australia. So if you wanted to research Germany, you're going to click on Germany. You're going to go to the map. And on the Germany map here, we're going to be working on this tomorrow and today and tomorrow. So here, this is all about the geography, looking at Germany on the map, looking at what's around it, looking at those major cities. So if you were starting from scratch, those were the things that you needed to add to yours. Where on the map is it? What are the major cities? What's the water around it? If it, someone like Australia, has lots of body of water around it. So all of that talking about the land and where it's located. And so they answered, if you're using mine, answered the questions there. And then tomorrow we'll finish, and then Wednesday we'll go on to something different. And so they're just researching that country. And then so we had reading time for that. And then for writing today, so if you go to our agenda, so writing today, we worked on this activity called Winter Poetry, which is in our Google Classroom here. So under week 17, you have Winter Poetry. And here, these are like magnetic letters. And once you finish, I asked students to upload them to Seesaw. So you can turn them in here and then upload them to Seesaw so your family can see as well. And then you just click on the letter. So let me open this up. So you the directions here on the side about for when you finish. So you can click on the words and you can move them around. So students had time to work on that, and then we shared. And so the word list, so you can see all the words all spread out, are here. And then the words are down all on the bottom. So you can drag them and let them go and create your winter home there. And then you can click here to learn how to publish it on Seesaw. Then for science today, we worked on our coding, and I showed students how to use Screencastify. It's an extension where you can record what's on your screen. So some of them didn't have their emails validated in Scratch, so they're unable to share links. And so this was a way to kind of get around that. So with I'm using it currently right now to record this video. So once you click this, it'll give you, mine's looking different because it's obviously recording right now. But once you click this extension, it'll have options where you can connect it to your microphone and your camera so that you can, like right now when I am doing things on my screen, it's recording everything. So they went and they played their projects for me, and so I could see those projects. And then we also finished working on some of them. So students were asking questions and finishing up their projects. So we'll work on those all this week. And then after that, our social studies time this week is going to be with the Christmas around the world. And so we're not going to do our social studies, our studies weekly like we normally do. It's going to be all about the Christmas around the world. So if they didn't have time to finish this morning, they had some additional time in the afternoon. And then they also had some time. I told them I wasn't going to start some of our crafts and things like that until we get, we had a few that needed to come pick up their bags today. So hopefully everybody got their bag today. And this holiday fun zone has all kinds of things here. You can click the view more, and there's even more that will pop up. Oh, nope, coming up with an error. All right, well, let me try this. There we go. All right, so when you click on view more, let's see if that worked. There it goes. All right, so it'll bring down even more things to click on here, different holiday activities. So you can pick and choose. There's some art things and all kinds of fun stuff. So students did that at the end of the day while some of us finished up working on and helping each other out with the coding. And all right, and that's where we left off. And so tomorrow we'll continue with math, working on input-output tables, and then we will be working on doing some reviewing for our multiplication tests, and we have that on Wednesday. So right here we have our multiplication test coming up, and As always, let me know if you have any questions, but that wrapped up our day. All right, thanks, guys.